Oh, hey.
Hey.
Little
What's up, guys?
premature right there, man. Hey, how come you had to end it like that?
Oh, it's funny. I don't know why that normally a little Bolt Bros thing pops up. So why don't we do that right now? Let's do the Bolt Bros thing. We gotta keep it straight. But hey, before we hit the button, we are doing a mock draft episode. We've already done our mock drafts. We are going to talk about the Chargers, who we think we're going to get. Now, if you guys have your mock drafts, have them ready. I'm really curious to see what you guys think we're going to draft moving forward. We're also going to take a look at what the actual so-called draft experts have looked at, right, Kyle? I mean, because that's one of those things where they constantly keep talking about. And so, we're going to get into what we think is going to happen with scenarios we think makes best sense for this draft for the Chargers specifically.
Right.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Bolt Bros.
Let's
go.
All right.
Mock draft 1.0. That's it, guys.
There it is.
Mock draft 1.0. Oh, so Kyle, so you're down in Provo right now, right? In Utah? So so obviously he's definitely not in his normal location. So anyway, glad to have you on. Make sure, let us know in the chat, guys, how we sound, how we look. Make sure we're looking okay in the thread. I know we're kind of looking at it. I know I'm just barely back to my house. Exactly.
Right,
so
that's right.
Hopefully we're
Jaguars up in the house. Hey, what's up, good man? How you doing? Hope you're having a good weekend.
Absolutely, guys. And so cool. Let's get into some of what here's the funny thing I think about the mock drafts. All these mock drafts are kind of ridiculous to some degree because they're just people speculating who we're going to get, right? And Kyle, you and I believe in, and what do you think in the chat below? I know more people are going to be rolling in. We're going to go live for at least an hour here, so this will be a good long discussion.
Right.
Bottom line, the one piece that is not, when we start talking about mock drafts, the one piece is what? Austin Ekeler. We still don't know the situation with Austin Ekeler. So I think in a weird way, I kind of feel like this mock draft is a bit of a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I haven't really wanted to do many of them. I've done plenty of them on my own.
Right.
But with Austin Ekeler out there like that, and I don't know, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think we're going to get Ekeler back? Or do we think we're going to trade him away? I think he's going to come back. I don't think there's any chance we're going to lose him. I don't think anyone's going to pay what we want for him. What do you think, Kyle, in chat? What do you guys think?
Well, no, man. The news came out yesterday that he got traded to the Raiders, and we got a first round draft pick.
Oh, that's right.
Second round draft pick. We got a third round draft pick. We got a fourth round draft pick. We got a
seventh round draft.
And then we got a lifetime supply of all you can In-N-Out burgers. So
that was awesome, dude. I read through that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I'll take it all day.
Yeah.
Funny. So funny.
Yeah. Well, but in all seriousness, though, that was, of course, an April Fool's joke.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, though, like it sounds to me like he really just wants to have his future secured with a team. He doesn't necessarily want to have just a 1-year deal kind of going on right now. And that's going to be kind of tough for him because he's turning 28 this year, I believe.
Yes.
And he really wants to get a 3 to 4 year deal. So like that would put him at 32 at the most. So I'm not sure so many teams really want aging running backs. I mean,
nope.
So like that's just the problem is that he's kind of facing right now. So I'm like, well, yeah. So in that regard, I'm not sure many other teams are going to be looking to give him a 3 to 4 year contract. And I know for sure, I don't think the Chargers are going to do an extension for him.
I think they'll sign him back. I think he'll get maybe a 2-year contract, and that's it. It.
Okay.
At least that's my take. What do you guys think of the draft? I know Robert here. Let's talk. Let's throw Robert's thought out here as well too. You guys see the Chargers going after Bijan if they're unsure about Ekeler's status. So let me say this: if they get Bijan, then Ekeler's going to be traded. Now, again, I also think there's draft day. I think Kyle, you and I were talking about this. Yeah. But that's a good chance that Ekeler gets traded on draft day.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
What do we see? We trade him away for maybe a second and a third, or maybe a second and a fourth, or maybe a second now and maybe a third next year, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a real conversation, right? Do you think it's a possibility even after the running back Ekeler is there for the security of the future? Look, I think so, but I don't think they'll use their first pick on Bijan Robinson, in my opinion. If they're committed to Ekeler, I do not think that's going to happen. Now, we also know something, guys. We got some big information from Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco. They are working through Justin Herbert's contract right now.
Yep.
Right. And so there's money that's going to be locked up. And, Matt Money Smith seems to think that we're going to get Herbert's contract signed up this year before the season starts, which seems a little ridiculous to me.
Right.
But okay. I don't know. It didn't, I wouldn't think that was going to happen, but who knows? Right. So,
it's because it's kind of weird too. Because if they do the 5th-year option for him, that's $30 million essentially to Justin Herbert, just cash, just like that,
Correct.
And we already know that our 4 players are going to get paid $30 million a year. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Khalil Mack, and of course Joey Bosa next year are going to get $30 million. So if they add another $30 million to Justin Herbert, there goes our freaking salary cap. They can
100%.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, Herbert's getting $50 million a year. That's happening. Okay, so and again, we got, I think Keenan Allen's set to be paid $30 million next year, something like that. Right. It's crazy money. Yeah. That's not going to happen. So, Robert Suma. So here we go. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we already talked about this one right here too. And I clicked the wrong one here. Here we go. Would it be wiser to get it done sooner before another quarterback around the league raise the market? You know what? That's not a bad idea, because you're exactly right. Because the argument is, well, you got Joe Burrow, you got Hurts, all these guys that have been to Super Bowls. Herbert has not. You probably could get Herbert to maybe sign for $45 million or something like that. Well, I kind of doubt that. But, my point is maybe a smaller contract than Hurts and Burrow potentially. Sure. So, Robert, you're exactly right. I actually think you're 100% correct on that, because to me, that would make sense. So
to get it done sooner than later. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's a good point too. The QB market has massive inflation. So yeah.
100%, right? And again, when you're building a team, you're building a team around the quarterback 90% of the time anyways, right? So so let's see what the Chargers mock draft 6.0. Again, 6.0 guys, right? And again, I don't know. I get a little frustrated because again with it, I keep saying again. The problem is that this is still in flux with Austin Ekeler. Right. If we were to draft Bijan Robinson, then I would say Austin Eckler's ticket's been punched and he's probably not going to be with us. Whether that happens or not, who knows, right? But let's see what the experts say about who we're going to get, right? Okay, Boogie Brooks, Bijan Robinson. Yeah. Mike Tannenbaum, Jackson Smith, Imagia. Am I saying that right?
I think it's Najigba.
Najigba, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Honestly, I'm probably the worst person to ask about these names. I still need to put a blooper reel thing like that. How many times I messed up somebody's name on the.
I know exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, this guy's a stud, right?
Yeah.
Darnell
exactly.
Washington. This guy, I love this guy. We could get this guy. I would be hyped. Got a bit of a man crush on him, dude. Pretty sweet. So plus, he's a Georgia boy, dude. I mean, these guys are, they get okay. And then we got another one for Bijan Robinson down here. Yep. So now again, we have 25 days until the draft. Is that right? It doesn't start on the 20th. The draft dates are the 27th and 29th.
Yes, it starts the 27th. And by the way, if you are interested, there is a draft party on the boat with Royal Caribbean. The Bolt City Diehards, he kind of organized a little event to go on the cruise. And if anyone who's watching this wants to be part of that, you go ahead and do that. Just book the. I believe there's a cruise. It's just going out. It's going out to Mexico, and people are just going to have a good time. There's a little sports bar on the boat, and they're all going to be sitting there watching the draft together. One of the diehard City Bolt clubs. It's going to be a good time. I honestly, I wish that we can go, but I think because we want to have to do a mock draft live and talk to people and stuff like that, I don't think it's possible for us to.
Yeah, agreed. Go, so. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Okay, guys. So we're also thinking about doing an actual live mock draft with you guys today as well, too, if you want. So How about this? Why don't you, let us know if you want to do that, because we can do that together. We can do it live, share a screen, and actually do it together. But if you have your own mock drafts that you've accomplished and done, put it in the chat. I'd love to see what you guys picked. So Kyle, why don't you show your mock draft and I'll show mine, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So let's get the ding 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 ding.
Wait, no.
Oh,
you
got a little.
Okay, that's not a good one. That's not a good one.
Okay. So Larry thinks Dalton Kincaid, tight end first. Okay, yeah, that's a solid one.
Man, I would love him. Honestly, I think he's the guy I would really, really like. Yeah.
My first round pick is, I actually think that we should trade it, and I actually got offered when I was doing mine.
Ooh, that's a solid one. I would take that in a heartbeat, dude.
Yeah. So they gave me for my 21st pick. They gave me their 21st or second, plus a 58 and the 90th. So I'm like, done deal. Yeah.
I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yep. So I'm trading down my first pick.
Trading down. Okay.
Trading down. Yeah. I guess though, but I would say, if I absolutely did have to pick the first round, I would probably go with I actually really do like Jackson Smith Njigba a lot as well. Because I really do feel like we need to get a solid wide receiver the first round, because obviously, like, we're in the shaky area with Keenan Allen. I know, like, at the same side, like, I mean, I don't want to see him go. I want him to be a lifer Charger if possible. But injuries happen, obviously. Keenan Allen got hurt and Mike Williams got hurt. I think we need to make sure that we find someone with some solid speed for sure in the wide receiver
100%.
core, and to give Justin Herbert some more weapons.
Well, and I think we also need to build some weapons around him that he can grow with, right? Because he's got these veterans, right? I think Palmer's probably the guy that's going to be with us a long term.
Yeah.
But this is great. If Bijan's there, I'd go for Zay Flowers, Kincaid. I like all those picks, right? Yeah. So I think the argument with the trade down scenario, what makes sense is there's so much depth in this draft. You probably could go, I think, the first through three. You want as many first through threes as you can get, in my opinion.
Right.
Oh, here we go. James checking in.
What's up, bros? Nice.
Yep. Okay, so Zay Flowers. Okay, so James thinks Zay Flowers. Look, here's the thing. So you want to go through your entire mock draft? Because I know you traded down, and then let's go through each one and kind of what your thought process is on yours.
Oh, okay. Sure. Well,
we don't need to spend a ton of time, but just give us an idea why you picked
I thought you wanted to go through yours as well, like in what your.
No, I'll go through mine as well, but I want to. We'll go through each of the picks as well.
Okay, here we go. All right. So then for my, so now my.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right.
Pick now, and guess what? I'm trading again.
Oh man, you're trading down again.
Yeah,
man, you got all kinds of picks in.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. I've traded my 26th pick for their 29th, and a 5th round 146 for this year, and a 2nd round for next year, and a 6th round for next year.
So let's pause there for a second. So you did that for what? Depth?
Yeah. So for depth, but also I'm thinking of salary cap for the future in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Because in a lot of ways, because I'm so worried about, what we're painting ourselves on a corner with all these players that we got.
100%.
Like, I'm like, look, we got to kind of maybe avoid first round, in my opinion, like the plague, just because.
Well, and it's a deep class too, though. There's a lot of players.
It's a deep class, and in a lot of ways too, like the elite players, they're already long gone by our 21st pick, anyways. So, we can probably find some still day one starters in 21 and really 15 and down. But I'm just like, you know what? There's quite a few players that are not bad at all, like in the 2nd and 3rd rounds at all. So I'm like, let's just keep that going.
Well said, James. Well said. Other boat bro that's not here. Yeah. No. So because and I agree. I think more ammunition is a good thing, right? We need depth. Right. And again, we got a lot of veterans. Veterans are going to start, but we need people behind that can step up and move forward. Okay, so let's go through your picks and just maybe give us a little blurb of why you liked this person, and maybe fill the need, so on and so forth.
Okay. Well, guess what? Hang on a second. Okay, here. So guess what? With my 29th pick,
Oh my God. You did again. Holy smokes. You're stacking picks.
Yeah, I'm just stacks on stacks, baby. Yeah, let's go. So, how many
picks is that now?
Picks. Yeah, this is a home run draft right here, man.
Okay.
So, trading the 29th pick for now a second 34th, a third 36 or 66, a third 96, and a sixth 180th, and then a future round 4 for next year.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
you got a bunch.
Yeah, I got a bunch, and I'm stacking up for the future as well. So, yeah, but like you said, it's a thick draft. Okay, so now officially my first round. I didn't do any other trades. I guarantee it for after this one. So
okay,
yeah, okay. So now my first pick, Darnell Washington at 34.
Oh man, love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, see, I think I'll just say this. The reason why I like Darnell is that he's like a great tight end, but he's like also another offensive lineman, which is awesome. So
yeah,
you get a lot of value, and he's going to help in the running game, which our running game was abysmal last season.
Right, and I mean, obviously, we saw how strong he was with pushing that cart. It was like, and he just manhandled it, So he's like, in a lot of ways, he's like another offensive lineman, but also like I think he has the ability to get some good hands on him too, for catching balls and stuff. He just needs a little bit of training on that side, and then we're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's see your next pick.
Okay, so my next pick at 54, Josh Downs, wide receiver.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, I feel like if he was one of the best available at this point, like we need to get some more weapons for Justin Herbert, and so another wide receiver would be good. And yeah, he's a solid choice. Like he's actually. His value was much lower than what his pick was as well at that point. So
interesting.
I think it was a solid choice. Yeah. Next up, 58, Siaka.
I like that guy.
Is it Siaki Ika?
Siaki Ika.
Siaki
Ika. Okay. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. So 100%. I thought this guy was great, and a lot of people have been talking about him in the Chargers chats and stuff. And yeah, so we need to just kind of go defense a little bit especially because Brandon Fehoko is gone. So I was
keep that Polynesian butt and gut on the line,
That's right. We need another big old boy in the front there. Yeah,
yep. I like it.
Yep. And here we go. And then of course I did go find a running back.
Aether, how we doing, buddy? How we doing? Throw your questions out, Aether.
Yeah, man. Bring on the heat, baby. But then so I feel like a running back would be a good choice to, in the case, because let's be honest though too. Like I mean, we've done a running back every single year, and I do not see a change in that trend this year as well. So it just depends on how far and how deep in the draft that we're going to go. So,
and right now the NFL's keeping they're a dime a dozen, right? They're usually every team is running at least 2 running backs, most cases.
Yeah. And
they're getting multiple touches. And so you need people. You really need at least 3 good running backs in your stable because injuries happen, Yeah. And to get the big knock against, Austin Ekeler, he's a small guy. He's not a big dude. Right. By the way, I love that you got all these picks here because these are all great picks in the 100s, right? I would love this. The argument, though, is you're going to be letting some veterans go, because you can't sign everybody. But this is great. And the problem also with this, too, just so you guys know, from a dollar perspective, 34, 30, or 54, 58, 66, they're all going to be paid around exactly the same amount of money when they sign as a rookie contract. So they get kind of expensive. Top 100 is more expensive than obviously bottom 100. So again, dollar amounts start becoming an issue at that point. But to Kyle's point, this is at least depth, and this is kind of where we need to go. So something like this makes sense for sure.
Right. Yeah. And the truth is too, is that like a second round or a first round, they have like a kind of a max kind of thing.
Yes.
And the second round has like a max too. I think it's like second round is like a rookie trade deal. It's like $1 million or something like that. Third round,
sure.
it goes.
It's tiered out.
Yeah, it's tiers down. So like that's kind of my whole thought process in a lot of ways too. It's like I'm also thinking future caps and stuff as well. So
yeah, well, it's also position too. So like if a defensive lineman that was picked at like 57, let's say, signs before Sika. Mm-hmm. Then whatever he gets, he would get a little less than whatever that person signed for, right? So it basically tiers it down, right? That's the whole point.
Exactly. Okay, so here we go. Next pick. See, I think we're getting into the third rounders now too. And so obviously with the loss of Drew Tranquil, we need to find a linebacker that we can get and kind of fill some space and get some more depth in there.
Yep.
And like in the same side too, like all these picks, like I said, were like, positional value was higher than what I picked them at too. So I need to do a lot more research on these guys to see like what their real positional
value are.
Yeah, value is and stuff. But I think these guys are all pretty solid though, for sure. And with the right training. And then of course with Nasir Adderley going away, Jordan Battle.
Yep.
And just more secure.
And he went to Bama too, big school.
He went to Bama, so yeah, it's a great school. Like obviously awesome program. So I'm sure he's learned a lot of good things. Yep. And then then found an edge rusher down there. I think this is my last of my top 100 picks. So how many did I get here? The top.
You got a bunch, man. You got like 5 out of that. Yeah, you got 5 so far.
Yeah,
6.
6 players out of the top 100. Like,
see, and that does make a lot of sense too. Yep.
Yeah. Right. So, I feel pretty good about all this stuff. And look at that. Each one trade. So good.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And then more linebacker positions. Just to kind of
Marvin Overshawn. Yep. From Texas. Yep.
Yeah, because here's the other thing too. Is like I don't know if we're gonna keep Kenneth Murray either.
He'll be let go.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be let go. And
well, let's he has a great season this year, right? I know he's. I think he's under a microscope at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's definitely that. I mean,
let's do one more, Kyle, because I know that's like already like way past what I have on my draft.
Got it. Yes, really, that's just about it. And then picked up another one. I guess I'll just go all the way to the bottom because I thought this was pretty funny. Stetson Bennett, yeah.
Oh yeah, Stetson Bennett. Yeah.
Yeah, so we picked him up last because obviously we're probably not going to keep Chase Daniel around.
Yeah.
Easton Stick we did keep him. So obviously I think it would be kind of cool to have Stetson Bennett, who's won 2 championships. And he does have a pretty good ability to play. Yeah. And yeah. And so we're sitting there. I'm like, all right, it's not a bad idea to maybe get another quarterback, and maybe like if Justin Herbert goes down, Stetson Bennett actually he's got the chops, to be something great too. So
he does.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I like it. Yeah. So let's get into Aether's question here first, and then I'll pop mine on as well too. And guys, let me make sure I get the right one here. Okay. So here we go. So let me show mine on screen here. Here we go. Oh, that's yours.
That's mine, sir. Let me hide mine.
Oh, here we go. I got it. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. And Aether, let me throw your question out there as well too. Here's your question. If you can't say we can't trade up or trade down, what are you guys taking in the first round? Mine would be a wide receiver. I think your first pick, no matter what, has to be a day 1 starter or someone you really fully believe will be a day 1 starter. And again, we saw last year, Zion Johnson, right? Here's the thing. I don't think we'll get an offensive lineman this draft because I think our offensive line is pretty set. So I do think it'll probably be a skill player. It'll probably be someone like a wide receiver or a tight end. So you're right. In my opinion, a wide receiver or a tight end makes the most sense. And you see this is my mock draft right here. Darnell Washington is my guy. So I got him as well too. And I did a trade down with the Chiefs, as you guys can see.
How dare you, man?
I know.
Never trade with a divisional rival.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about that though, for me though, is that like to me, we get Darnell Washington and I get a couple more picks, right? We still got who I really wanted. I mean, that's who I really wanted. I mean, I think I really truly believe that we had such a bad running team last season. And I think a large part of that was largely because a lot of our offensive line were playing in positions they were not normally used to playing, right? When you play in the NFL, it's much more difficult. But a Darnell Washington on the line just adds another offensive lineman and a skill player and someone you can use to, get those tough yardage plays, right? Again, if you were on my live that I did on Friday, the playbook is still being created today, right? They are going, Kellen Moore was very clear. There's no playbook, right? We are going to create a playbook for this team, which is really the right way to build a team.
Yeah.
So Darnell Washington, I think, is great. I'm very happy with this pick. I would also like a wide receiver as well too, but Zay Flowers was there. I'm sorry, he was not there at 31 for me. I did the trade down, so in this situation, he was not there for me. Yeah. And then we have a defensive lineman, another one of our Polynesian buddies from USC. I remember this guy; he was pretty solid. I've seen him play a couple games, pretty solid. Zach Harrison from Ohio State. That was a little bit biased because that's where Joey Bosa is from. And so I thought, you know what? We got to replace Joey Bosa with another guy, from Ohio. I don't know why. I just thought, and I figured Ohio State is pretty solid because, pretty highly drafted. Now, a wide receiver, Michael Wilson. I don't really know a whole lot about Michael Wilson specifically, but I think Michael Wilson, he went to Stanford, obviously Pac-12 schools. So I think, not a bad situation. And I've heard Dwayne McBride is pretty good from UAB. Honestly, I was a little bit remorseful when I did this one right here. I kind of wanted to do a safety. So I would have not done a safety. Now, again, to be clear, guys, my draft was also based around the fact that we're keeping Austin Ekeler and we're not getting any draft picks off of Austin Ekeler or anything like that, right? So in this situation, we wouldn't need another running back and that wouldn't be something that we would focus on. And Jacorian Bennett from Maryland, I've heard a few good things about this guy, and then Jackson Kirkland, and then my 7th round pick didn't even show up. But anyways, at any rate, it does show that, that's, kind of where we sit, with my mock drafts and kind of where we're going. So, look, I like the trade down scenario. What do you guys think? Trade down scenario or trade up? I think the trade up makes no sense. I would rather have more picks than less picks. But, quantity over quality at this point, I think is really what matters to me, in my opinion.
Right. How often our Chargers were like the most injured team last year of any team, like almost broke the record 100%. On injuries. So like our draft needs to focus on depth, 1,000%.
100%.
And if we can 100%. Get a lot more value out of our 21st pick, let's freaking do it. Like let's trade 1 pick for 3. Great. Or, maybe a player and a couple more. Great. I'm down.
Yeah, and what if there's a draft trade, draft day trade with Austin Ekeler, right? Okay, cool. Right. Lions want him or whatever, and we want Austin Ekeler. We're going to give you our 2nd and 3rd round pick this year. Awesome.
Yeah.
Those are all things that could happen. And Aether, yes. So James could not make it today. He's out, not in a great position. He was just on the chat a little bit earlier on today.
Yeah, so and I don't have my shade, so that's probably why he also didn't recognize me. So yeah.
Yeah. And Matthew Dahl, that was Kyle's idea. Thought that was pretty funny. The April Fool joke.
Yeah, man, that was pretty good.
Well, and actually, it was funny because if you guys go read the paragraph and everything. How did you actually write that, Kyle? How did you write that?
How did I? Well, to be honest, I actually used an AI to do that.
Isn't that hilarious, guys? Guys, I'm telling you, AI is going to take over the world, dude. Skynet is real, dude. It is about to happen. It's scary. It's scary to think about.
Yeah.
So let's do this now. Okay. And then we'll take more of your questions. Keep throwing your questions out as well, too, guys. Let's look at the 3 round draft picks that the NFL. This is one I just saw this morning. Pretty interesting. So let's just go to the Chargers. I thought this was hilarious. This didn't happen. There's no way Anthony Richardson's going to go first. I do not know why he would be the first pick there. So, and guys, again, this is why I get so frustrated with these mock drafts. Whoever writes them has their own opinion, their own biased opinion of what they want, right? We're doing mock drafts. There are biased opinion, 100%. So, and again, they even talked about Jamari Sawyer. Why he slipped to 6th last season was ridiculous. I mean, the guy was a starter for almost every year in Georgia, played a litany of positions. There's no way he should have slipped to 6, but he did.
Yeah.
He eventually was just off everyone's draft board, and they just said, oh, he's right there. Let's go get him. So anyways, let's go to the Chargers pick. Oh, no surprise here, Bijan Robinson.
Yep. And it's got to be because everyone's like, it's all shaky about Austin Ekeler, I feel like.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
That's the conversation.
The biggest thing, though, too, is like, I don't think it's necessarily shaky because, 100% Austin Ekeler is going to play for us this year. I 100% believe. He's not going to be like Melvin Gordon, sit out for like half the season or, like be a stick in the mud. Like, he's like, hey, I want to get this deal done before, like, the season goes. It seems like I just don't see him doing that. Like, he wants to play. No. But yeah, like he's secure for sure. He wants security. He wants to make his position there. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I like Bijan Robinson. I know because he could be that every down kind of running back and get us those yards and stuff. Even because he had such a terrible line at Texas.
Yeah.
That he really could be the answer for us moving forward. And hey, guess what? We have a really good relationship with Texas running backs, So, yeah.
Well, but again, the argument could be made. We already have Isaiah Spiller, and he hasn't even had an opportunity to be on the field. And now we actually have an offensive line he can run behind. So do we really need a Bijan Robinson? My argument has always been we need a wide receiver or a tight end over a running back right now, with even if Ekeler's not here with us.
Right.
And, guys, the other argument is we're probably going to have Herbert throw the ball 50 times.
Yep.
So why do we need a running back? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. In that playoff game against the Jags, UFC, if you're still here, or UCF, I would say UFC, UCF, if you're still here, again, we couldn't get a first down to save our life in that second half. And if we had ran the ball well with the Bijan Robinson, that game would have ended up differently, right? And so that's the argument. So I get that. So let's see the rest of this draft here. I know it was right here.
Okay, round 2 right there.
Here we go. Jalen Duncan, offensive tackle, Maryland. Okay, makes sense. You always want. Look, you need butt and gut, man. You need fastballs on the line.
Those thighs and buys.
Now I like this. We trade with the Raiders, so we did like a trade up. It looks like, and we get Marvin Mims, wide receiver from Oklahoma. I keep seeing a lot of this. This guy is like the guy. A lot of people really like him, so I like that thought. So they trade down, and they got this DJ Turner, cornerback from Michigan. So again, there's a lot of different ways of cooking this goose, in my opinion, right? I kind of look at it and say, well, okay, where are we going to go, right? I mean, I like the idea of trading down, because if you trade down, you get more picks. You probably went a little excessive on that, Kyle, but I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, maybe one, maybe two,
The offers kept coming. I was like, all right, I'll just take it. Like,
I got a whole team now. I got offense and defense. What's going on here?
I'm gonna just draft a whole new team, man. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go.
It's a mock draft, man. This ain't the real deal. It's like,
Well, and that's a really good point too, guys. And again, so how about this? We're gonna go through your questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Who would you pick first, right? Who would you pick? Just put the name out there. Who do you want at 21? That's just barring we have 21. You can say wide receiver, tight end, or you can put a name out there. Who's your number one pick? Okay, Rich, let's take a look at you real quick. And by the way, Rich, we're probably going to have you on. We want to do a live draft episode, so we need to probably talk to the Wild Wild West podcast about that, and maybe do something with you guys. So we'll be in contact with you. Who are you most concerned with on your roster getting hurt in 2003 and the depth behind guy that's good enough? Okay, that's easy for me, dude. That's edge rusher, man. We already saw it with Mack and Bosa last season. I said this over and over again. If Mack and Bosa was on the field, just Bosa, if Bosa was on the field with Mack the entire season, we would have at least had 2 more games and maybe even won the playoff game. But you can also argue that freaking Joey Bosa lost us the playoff game. If you recall, he got that penalty. We had a sack, stopped that drive, and then he had that other penalty. He threw his helmet on the ground. They got the 2-point conversion. We lose by 1 point.
Yep.
But we need more depth and edge. So Nolan Smith, I think, is someone that would be a really good person to go after. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Kyle? As far as
100%, yeah. Like I honestly, I feel like if there's a positional player that I feel like would hurt us the most that gets injured right now, it would probably be wide receiver, because Justin Herbert needs solid people to throw the ball to.
Yep.
So either Mike Williams goes down or Keenan Allen goes down. It really makes it hard for us to actually continue to score points. I mean, actually at this point too, Austin Ekeler, if he gets injured, that's a huge thing, because he was our wide receiver number 1 really on the team. Like he got over 100 catches, and he was absolutely critical for the team because all the wide receivers are gone. So and so for me, it's a toss up of both those things. If like our wide receivers go down, which they have been regularly going down lately, then that's gonna hurt us the most. But then secondly, if Austin Ekeler goes down, that's a huge blow to us. Like, and honestly, like I can't stress how important Austin Ekeler is to this team. And so, yeah, that was my answer for Richie there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think you're exactly right. Well, Rich has got another question or two. Throw another question at that as well, too, guys. So another one: what type of style or player you don't have on your roster and want to see acquired? For me, it would be a speedy wide receiver because we don't have that, right? Because Jalen Guyton has not been re-signed, guys.
Yep.
And so, So it's like,
we really need that deep threat for sure.
100%. And again, that's what Kellen Moore wants. But he specifically talked about that quite a bit when he was hired. If you recall his initial interview with Haley Elwood. Haley, hit me up, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy you a steak. I'll buy you some veggies, whatever you want. I'll buy you a salad, steak salad.
Right. If you're ever in the Salt Lake Valley, hit him, my brother. He's single.
That's right. I'm back in Salt Lake now, guys. I'm not in Arizona right now at the moment. But but a good point. I think a speedy wide receiver is someone we need. Someone stretch the field. Field. I also think we're going to get Guyton back too. I think they're probably just working out the details, is what I think. But again, what are your thoughts on that, Kyle?
Mm-hmm. I really honestly feel like we need a solid linebacker that's really just kind of like that people just fear. That quarterback's just like, oh my gosh, I do not want to get hit by this guy, and that's the type of player that I feel like the Chargers have lacked for a long time. We don't really have many of those like dogs out there, just those guys like Bobby Boucher, he just like freaking, he just jumps over a lineman or whatever, and just like freaking does a backflip and tackles the quarterback, and just, I want to see somebody out there who's like just brutal, I mean, this ain't no tickling match, it's like, yeah. And I do want the players to stay safe, but I also want them to, be aggressive and be like, that kind of guy to get out there and just get out there. Because like I don't think we've had that in how many years,
No. No.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because everyone feared Junior Seau when he was out there, because they knew he was all over the ball, like freaking white on rice, and so I want to see that again. If we can find someone that has that kind of attitude, I say we get him, and I know that the Chargers organization kind of avoids players like that, but I think that maybe that could change,
Yeah, exactly. But again, I also do think that, again, we go back. I keep saying it again. Sorry. We need depth. We need depth at every single position. Yes. And the thing that I keep seeing this team do is we are going out again, Drew Tranquill, we let him go, and we decided to pick a veteran in Eric Kendricks.
Yeah.
And that to me clearly just states that we're looking to win right now. Yeah. I guess my hope is that Kendricks will help K9. K9 has all the talent, but I just don't think he has the processing speed to really get things go. So it's one of those situations where I keep saying to myself, okay, where are we at here? So Aether's question, I can try and answer this a little bit. I guess I know you asked me this question on Friday.
He was kind of wanting to direct it towards me, though, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. And I did find an article on the Chargers website that I saw, so I'm going to pull it up real quick, and we can kind of talk about that as well, too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle. If you have some questions.
Because I've said a couple times that I would really like for Justin Herbert to have some kind of team-friendly deal.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. And so that's probably why Aether's bringing the heat to me right now. So
yeah, no. I like the idea because it makes sense. Because look, Tom Brady always got paid less so he could have a team around him. He knew that you can't build a team if you're getting paid all the money, right? You just can't do it. We have a salary cap. Major League Baseball does not have a salary cap. Yeah. Padres are spending money left and right. I think the Mets are $339 million or some crap like that. It's unbelievable. It's crazy money.
Yeah.
So here's the article that.
I was just gonna say, personally, I feel like if it's not gonna happen, then we're gonna see a team like he's gonna be easily getting like 40 to 50 million a year.
Easy.
Easily. Because the NFLPA will not accept it because, yeah, that's just the way the quarterback's market is going right now. Like they're all, no matter what, they're getting 40 to 50 million a year on like $300 million 6-year contracts or something. Like it's just something absurd. So,
yep.
And it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild to see what he gets, and I'm probably not gonna like it, to be honest. But at the same time, it's like, hey, we all know Justin Herbert is our future, and so pay the man.
Well, we can also restructure his contract too, right?
True.
That might be the other conversation too. Now,
yeah.
One thing that I will say, look at Danny Dimes, Giants, $40 million a year. That guy is not worth $40 million a year, in my opinion. Okay, he's just not.
Right.
But he fits the system that's there now. Okay. But the argument is what happens if their head coach goes and they start having bad seasons? It's going to be a problem. I hope that this guy right here just doesn't break the bank for the Chargers, right? I just really hope that doesn't happen. And I think that's what Aether's getting at as well, a team-friendly deal. And make no mistake about it, the fact that he's in L.A., guys, that matters. Look at Chase Daniels. He's probably about to retire, but he's on the NFL Network. It's right in the same stupid parking lot as our stadium.
Yeah.
So he's
literally just walks from the locker room.
100%. Yes.
To the studio. Yeah.
So, okay. Rich, you're here now. Why do you think Sean Payton wanted to go to the Chargers? My thought has always been because the NFL Network is right there. Because he's already in the NFL Network, so he could double dip both jobs. Super easy for him. So, look, I think there's a lot to be said about that, but it's interesting. So this is kind of an interesting little article. Tom Brady top, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, but right now Herbert ranked 10th. So again, it's great. It's great to see this. It's great to see where we sit. But look at this. We got Joe Burrow right here, and we got Fields.
Yeah.
And we have who's the other guy? Hurts. Hurts isn't even on this list. So
Hurts is in there?
Yeah, Hurts is not on this. Well, he's probably maybe a little lower. But again, the way that works typically in the NFL is that they make a decision. They say, okay, Burrow signed. Okay, he signed for $50 million. Then, okay, Herbert's going to sign. He'll probably sign for $51.5 million, right? And that's just kind of how it plays out. Now, we also do know the salary cap is moving up exponentially. I think it's 17% raise or something like that for inflation. I think is what it was. Maybe it was 7%. I can't remember. If you guys know how much the salary cap went up this year, I'm drawing a blank on it right there. But Aether, I hope we answered your question as well too. So please let us know if we did or did not, please.
I kind of want to see what the gap was between like the most recent, like the first $50 million a year quarterback salary was, but then the one before that, like it had to have been like I think I remember seeing a 30-something million, and then all of a sudden, like we saw 50 millions go up. So that's, what is it? Like that's like a $20 million jump, like in salaries. It's like, are you joking me, man? It's like how? Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
Well, and Pat McAfee always talks about the salary cap. The salary cap's a myth, right? Because you can pull money from other seasons and just kind of move, rob Peter to pay Paul, and that's what we did this season too. We all know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Zach, this is a good point, right? So again, why are the first team picks so popular? It's because those are blue chip players that should start day one on your NFL team. The argument is your team sucks because you're pick 15, and you need help, right? So you get the cream of the crop, right? You got a crappy quarterback, yada yada. So, anyways, that's a big conversation there. And Robert is telling you should be the GM for over Toronto.
Yeah, because of that amazing freaking trade deals that I was doing. Like,
I was gonna say, bro. I'll be sick. Yeah, you got a whole team.
To be honest, though, like that would probably be painting us in the corner too, though, because I had so many like in the second and third rounds. Like there's just like I had too many players drafted in 1 year. Like, I would want to secure more draft picks in like the future years too, though.
Sure. Yeah. And that would be good too, because we need depth flat out. Yeah. Okay, Chris, Chargers 8. Chris, wide receiver. You know what? And look, I don't disagree with you. I think we should be more. I'll say this: we should be more offense heavy this draft than defense heavy. Okay.
Yeah.
We were more defense heavy last year. If you remember, we got a lot of corners. We got a lot of defensive backs. Yeah. Leonard,
safeties.
Taylor.
And even in the off season, like we did a lot of trades for veteran players that we still have. Like 100%. So, yeah.
And it's the argument still out there that John Johnson's going to come to us as well too. And so what's going to happen there?
Right.
Trade coupon Tommy. Hey, nothing wrong with that idea.
There you go. It's coupon Tommy for Killer Kyle right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so funny. And Kincaid, man, Kincaid, Nolan Smith. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Team friendly means low salary at first and then high salary after, and you can convert salary to bonus. That does make sense.
Yeah.
And
so you just pay them straight. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, that's really what's a lot of who is it? Well, actually, didn't Khalil Mack sign that way too? I think his first year he only got paid, was it $8 million? I can't remember. Is that what but he got restructured.
Yeah.
So he got a pretty high, sizable chunk already this year.
And I think that's why a lot of players do want to, or they're okay with doing renegotiating their salaries, because they get like a massive bonus.
Yeah,
off
it's a big chunk.
The whole budget of their thing right away. So they're just like, okay, say they have $100 million contract or whatever, then they restructure, then they get like straight in cash, just $20 million check right by signing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, so that's great. Now again, I think he will be. Right. Justin Herbert seems like a team player. I don't think he's one of those guys that's going to be like, nah, you better pay me a ton of money.
Yeah.
And again, going back to Austin Ekeler, I know we beat this like a dead horse, but at the end of the day, he's about done in his career, right? About 30 years old, he's pretty much going to be done, and he could get a season-ending injury anytime he wants.
Right.
Or he wants. Of course, he doesn't want that to happen, but my point is it can happen, right? So, the reality is he also knows he's probably not going to get the ball as much this season underneath Kellen Moore as he would next season. So he needs to get his money now because there's not going to be much there. Nolan Smith. Let me say this about Nolan Smith. The knock against him is that a lot of people say his body is not NFL ready right now.
Okay.
He's just kind of a smaller frame. He has all the talent, but he's a little smaller frame.
Got
it. I will say this: if we get Kincaid and Mims, I would be so hyped, because I think those two guys would be a great tandem for us.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, right here. These are the people I like: wide receivers, tight ends, and Nolan Smith. Those would be my three that I would really want. Because again, I'm still believing that we're going to get Austin Ekeler back. I keep saying again. Sorry, guys.
Right.
Hey, I like the Georgia boys too, as well too.
Yeah, we like them Georgia boys. And actually, to be honest, I like anyone from the SEC. Period.
Yeah, anyone from the SEC. Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Tajay Spears, I like that. I'm loving these names. You guys are amazing. This is why we actually even did the channel, to be completely fair. We love communicating with you guys as fans, and I love nerding out about this. In fact, I was chatting with a friend of mine the other day about the draft. Boy, their eyes were glazing over so bad, and they were. I think he was a Bears fan. I think he just kept looking at me, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't even know who my quarterback is." And I'm like, "Okay, never mind then." So I stopped talking about it.
Yeah, you stopped talking. Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't even know.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Darius Davis, Elijah Hawkins or Higgins. Oh man, Elijah Higgins, man, that's a good question. I'm not sure I know Elijah Higgins. Guys, help us out in the chat here. Elijah Higgins, I'm not sure who that is exactly. Jack Campbell, I've heard good things about him. This is good too. Zach Benson, I agree. Sumo, get Kuntz in the third. See, again, I really think a trade down makes sense because there's a lot of value in the second and third rounds, in my opinion. Yeah. There's a lot of good depth in that area. If the argument is we already have our veterans set, because guys, we know it's starting most part, right? I can't think of a real position that we don't have a starter in right now that we're feeling very comfortable with right now.
Right.
So if the argument is you're going to want more depth or backups, as we're discussing, and filling holes for the future, then I think trading down makes a lot of sense because you can get more second and third round picks, maybe even another fourth, and we'll go from there. Rich, so I just left Arizona. I'm in Utah now again.
Yeah, so two of us are in Utah right now.
Yeah, two of them is in Utah right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we'll reach out to you today, Rich, for sure. Robert Sumo, Kendricks, he's amazing. Guys, Kendricks is awesome, man. I'm a huge fan of Kendricks. I think he's great.
I think he had a really solid hit on Justin Herbert. Like, at our Vikings game in 2021 season. I was there. I was a little mad at Kendricks, but but at least he's playing on our side now. So
yeah, exactly right, exactly. Yeah, Mims is the guy that I think we could get potentially lower. So let me ask you this, guys: would you want to trade up for anybody? Would there be a one person you think we should trade up and put more draft capital to get? To me, that makes no sense. And boy, that would put Tom Telesco's neck on the chopping block. He already did it with K9. It did not work out. And, up to this point, it has not worked out. And, pretty interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we got a lot of thoughts here. Here we go, guys. No way Chase Daniels.
Anthony just says emphatically, hell no. I mean, like I don't see any reason why we should trade up. Like obviously, like we do want some young guys. Yeah. But there are some elite players out there. But just think about that. Like, what do we need of those elite players? What do we need? Maybe a wide receiver. I don't know. Like, if in the first round, because so one of them, I remember one of our other things too is I know a lot of people say we should go with Dalton Kincaid for tight end of the first round, or some people obviously say Michael Meyer and stuff too. But the truth is, look, there's elite tight ends that get into the draft, way further in the back. Kittle Skittles, man, he was like a 5th round pick.
He was.
Yeah. He was. So and I think homeboy at Kelsey with the Chiefs, he was a 3rd round pick. So,
3rd round pick. Yep.
I don't necessarily think that a tight end is the choice for first round. So
100%.
Wide receiver could probably be the one for me personally if we're gonna go that round. So yeah.
Yeah, and the argument
there, trade up, who's available to trade up for?
Yeah. See, and I can't think of one person I'd want to trade up for. I just can't.
Right.
I can't think of anybody.
Yeah.
Now, so Rich, just so as far as nose tackle, we're pretty stacked. We just re-signed Morgan Fox. We got Austin Johnson. We got Tito Obonya. We got Sebastian Joseph Day. We have what you got.
Yeah.
Yes. But the argument is we need more depth. I think at some point they will pick somebody. Again, I think we're going to have an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, probably get a cornerback, maybe, wide receiver, tight end.
Right.
We're going to get a smattering of a lot of different things is what we're going to see, right? But really, to me, the 3 that matter: edge rusher, wide receiver, and tight end. Those are the 3 that really matter to me. The rest, I think, get as good as you can moving forward. There was a good question that popped up here. Oh, here we go. Wayland, Anthony Wayland. We drafted offense for 3 years already. Look, and last season, was pretty heavy defensive, in my opinion, right? We had a lot of defensive backs, a lot of different things like that. But I think the argument is now we really need to make sure we build a team around Herbert and some people that he can grow with on a wide receiver and a tight end type of situation.
Yeah.
Okay. If the Chargers trade down, we need to get at least 2 picks for compensation, especially if Ekeler is to be traded. We need more ammo. Look, I agree. I just really, really need to go. And Aether, that's awesome. I'm glad we answered your question. I know you asked me on Friday, and I did not know. So I'm glad we answered your question, Aether.
Good.
Okay. So
what do you want to do? An actual live draft, you and me together? We'll be in our war room kind of situation.
Yeah. Why don't we ask the chat? Chat, would you like us to do a live together, a live draft? And we do it and you can all vote on who we should go with.
Yeah.
So we could just say 1, 2, or 3, and then whatever the chat agrees upon, you can go with it on that. You want us to do that right now because we can do it live if you wish. Give us a yes or a no, guys. All right. So there's a couple of other thoughts here before we go into it here. So you want to set that up, or do you want me to set that up, Kyle?
Yeah. I can set it up if you want.
Yeah. And Robert Sumo, if Eckler's not coming back, then Bijan for sure. How deep is the draft projected?
You want to go do 7 round or?
Yeah, let's do 3 for the sake of time. Yeah, let's do 3 for sake of or 3 or 4 either way. Yeah, for sake of time is fine. How deep is the draft projected? Guys, a lot. So here's the thing. This draft is a kind of unique draft in this regard, right? A lot of people like the quarterbacks that are in the draft. I mean, I've even seen people say that Will Levis is going to go off the board first, which I think is ridiculous. I don't think Will Levis is the guy. But again, this draft has a lot of depth across the board. I really feel like there's a lot here. So, okay, within the 21st pick, the draft Los Angeles Chargers select. Who the hell knows? But it better be a great one. Let's go. Carlos, that's perfect, buddy. That's the truth, right? Everyone gets so frustrated with Tom Telesco, but look, at the end of the day, he's been doing a lot of draft depth as well. I mean, look at JT Woods is a great example. I think if we don't sign John Johnson, which we haven't heard a lot about it recently, there's a good chance that JT Woods may see the field quite a bit next season. But I had a really interesting epiphany, and this is how big of a nerd I am. I was literally laying in bed this morning, and I started thinking to myself, why do the Chargers want John Johnson? Okay, I want you to agree or disagree with me, and I've not read a single article about this at all, but this is my opinion. Agree or disagree with me on this. The Chargers want John Johnson because then they can move Derwin James down in the box and do more edge rushing. Because what happened last season with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, we know we're light on edge anyways, but if you have a guy like John Johnson who knows how to play that position under Brandon Staley's defense, then you feel more comfortable that the top is going to be covered if you bring Derwin James down in the box. I think the reason why Brandon Staley has not done that much is because he doesn't feel comfortable that Lowe or Nas were going to do a good enough job to bat the ball down on a deep pass. That's my take. What do you think on that, Kyle? In chat, what do you guys think? Am I way off on that, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Tom Telesco, I feel like he does some things pretty good. Like these restructuring type things. But I feel like, he's not really creative when it comes to picking players and getting later players and stuff like that. Like, I mean, last year, before the trade deadline, he literally just sat on his hands with his thumb up his butt, and I really wish that he could have figured out something, but he just couldn't, and just didn't do anything. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Tom Telesco. Let's just say
I know you're not, definitely.
Yeah, no.
And a lot of people aren't, right? Because again, we haven't seen a lot of the fruits of some of these picks, right? Hey, you know what? The NFL, hey, Chargers, if you want us to be a consultant, we're on board for that, right? So, yeah, cool. First question. Okay, so why don't we set up the draft here, guys? Let's set up the draft here, Kyle, and then
I set it up for 4 rounds.
Okay, 4 rounds, perfect. So go ahead and throw it up here, and then we'll throw Aether's question out here as well too. Okay. First question: pick one, home game and road game you're excited to watch. Mine, Bills home, Vikings. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, we're playing the Bills here at home. I'm really excited about that one because
that would be so sick. Yeah,
I do really want to go around to the Bills Mafia, tailgate a little bit and
oh my gosh,
for a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
The Vikings home game or away game. I mean, that could be cool, but I definitely don't want to go there because I am not a huge fan of the cold. So yeah.
Yep, and again. 2024 is going to be a tough year for us. I think, we got a lot of money ballooning at that time, so we're going to lose players. That's why the argument is that we need to probably have a lot more depth. Okay, cool. So let's hit go on this, Kyle, and let's see what we do here. So, Kyle, why don't we do it this way? Yeah. We'll pick 3 people that we like, and then we'll tell the chat to vote on which ones they want. Okay, so chat, be ready, and then just say, and then we're doing this together. So again, it's 4 rounds, and then let's just go for it. And again, guys, this is a lot of fun.
Just pressing the start. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It'll probably be a draft down scenario too. What do you bet?
I bet you will. Yep. Okay, we got 4 trade offers first.
Okay. Oh wow, 4 trade offers. Okay, let's look at all of them. We're gonna pick this, you and I, Kyle, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay. I don't like this one at all.
No.
Oh, look at that.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I would take that in a heartbeat right there.
Yeah, I totally would too.
I think in this scenario, let's not do that just because it's ridiculous.
Right. I don't think people really want to do that on this.
This one makes sense to me. What's the next one?
Next one.
Okay, let's do the other one just for the sake of this argument.
Wait, so you do want to do this one?
Not that one. The next one.
No.
The next one. That one right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Except that one.
Okay.
And the only reason why I'm saying that is just because we're only doing 4 rounds anyways, and this is only a couple. Okay. Let's reject this at this point. Let's reject it at this point.
Reject all of them. No. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's reject them.
Okay. Yeah, so we just traded. We just traded our 21st for 24th.
Okay, then that's great. That's only a couple rounds down, or a couple picks down. Okay,
a couple more picks down. Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's see what we got here. Let's look at our selection choices here, Kyle.
Okay. Yeah.
We can't see the screen. There we go.
Oh, we still got Bijan available.
And we got Jordan Addison.
And Jordan Addison and Michael Myers.
And Mike Meyer. Okay, guys. Okay, let's go with those 3. Okay, guys, in the chat, who would you want? And then we got Dalton Kincaid.
Oh my gosh.
Woo. Okay, so who do you guys think in the draft right there? Bijan, Jordan, Mike Meyer. Pick your guy.
Yeah, I know who I pick.
Yeah, and Zach, just so you know, I would take that in a heartbeat for sure. Yeah. We'd be gutting that team, but in this situation, let's not muddy the waters too much. So we got 1 vote for Kincaid.
Okay.
Man, I would probably go for Jordan Addison, dude. I really like him, man.
Yeah, I would also vote for Jordan Addison.
Man, because here's the thing. There's a lot of depth. Here's the thing. There's a lot of depth in tight end in 2nd and 3rd rounds. So
we got a lot of votes for Kincaid here.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Kincaid. Okay, let's give it a few more seconds here.
Yeah.
If Ekeler's back, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Mike Meyer. I'm seeing a lot of Kincaids here.
That is true though, Matthew. Yeah, we haven't won the division in 10 years, but you know what? I mean, we have to go 2-0 against the Chiefs in order to win the division.
That's exactly right. It's exactly right. And again, guys, it's a tough conversation because look, we want to be successful, but we need to get as many weapons as possible. And out of your fucking mind, guys, we love you.
Yes.
Bijan, no Ekeler for you guys. Bijan's a damn weapon. I agree. So I guess in this scenario, in my mind, I'm assuming that Ekeler's going to be back, right?
Yes.
That's my assumption, just because I just don't think. All right, we're seeing a lot of Kincaid
for 1 more year, though. That's the only
1 more year. Correct.
So, if we get Bijan, develop him, and secure our future with another running back for 8 years or so, that would be huge.
It would be.
Yeah.
All right, so we're seeing Kincaid as our guy, so let's take him.
Okay, we're going to Kincaid. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the consensus here.
That's the consensus. Good. So let's go to the next pick.
There you go.
And guys, by the way, I live in Utah. I've seen him play a number of times. That guy's an absolute freaking stud. The argument is that he can block really well, and he's also he's got a huge target. And that's a big part of what. Oh man, there's Darnell Washington there too.
He was almost available.
Okay. 3 trade offers. All right, let's just look at these real quick. Just skip through them pretty fast.
Okay. There you
go. No.
Future.
Okay.
Picks.
So in a real scenario, I probably would take this. So let's just kick out of it.
You would take the Texans one?
I would take the Texans, or maybe no. The
Packers one.
Packers one for sure. Yep.
I wouldn't take the Packers one. We just got a bunch of junk trades at the end there,
No, that's true. That is a lot. So let's maybe that one.
I would take this Bears one for sure.
Yep. Okay. So let's skip out of that. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Okay. So who we got?
Mims or Derek Hall. I like that. Midnight. That's actually a really good point. So let's see what we got. Okay. So Zach Charbonnet. That's the other guy a lot of people are talking about big time. So
for running back. Okay, so we already have a UCLA running back with Joshua Kelly. So
we got JK. We got JK.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got our button gut.
Yeah, we got Siaki Ika.
Yep.
I gotta say it slowly because I can't pronounce it well.
Yeah. So and then defensive lineman. Joe Tippmann. Okay, so let's just stay up at the top there.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of okay. So, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like no. It's in the BJ Ojulari. I like that guy a lot as well too. That would be my selection.
Okay.
But I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat?
Yeah.
Zach Charbonnet, BJ Ojulari, Saki Ia.
Yeah, Siaka.
Yaki. And then Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet is pretty awesome, guys. I mean, he is a really good running back, and I think that there's a lot to be said about that one for sure. So, to me, guys, I'm not confident that we got two old guys rushing the quarterback right now that have had major injuries, right?
Right.
A lot of guys, and then we got Trenton Simpson, by the way, from Clemson. That guy's a freaking stud too, man. Now, I guess the question would be there. He would be behind K9 and obviously Kendricks, but I guess the way I look at that is the league doesn't really care about linebackers as much, right? They're not getting paid a ton of money. You probably could get a good linebacker probably the 4th or 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like so right now. It looks like our votes are. Oh, it's pretty tied between Siaki, there's Ika, and Ujulari.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tied between those two.
Okay.
And I think
so guys,
you said Oju too, right?
Yeah, that's who I said. Yeah. What do you think? BJ. Okay. It looks like Carlos. All right. So let's go with BJ Ojulari then. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. 100%. He did a great job. And honestly, we all know that our boy Rump Shaker has been a bit of a bust, man. I mean, he's just not that guy. Okay. So what do we got next?
Oh, we got a trade offer from the Raiders.
Okay, I would probably take that.
Yeah, I would take that.
I would take that, but let's just reject it for today's purposes at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what we got here.
Good. Charbonnet just got picked right before us.
Dang it, that's a bummer because I really like him a lot. Okay, so we got a tight end, we got an edge rusher. I'm saying we need a wide receiver at this point. So let's see if Mims is available. No, we got safeties. No, wide receiver. Rice.
I think. We do got Mims.
Okay, we got Marvin Mims.
Tillman. I think that's been a popular name around.
I've heard pretty good things about him too. Hmm. The argument though with Tennessee is Tennessee was a bit of a niche type of offense that worked well. Yeah. Oh my God. Blake Freeland from BYU. That guy is a freak of nature. That dude has broken every single rule. I would say, oh man, I like so
we're getting a lot of Mims in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. So just so you know, guys, I would pick Blake Freeland.
We got 5 Mims already.
Okay, then it's Mims. Then it's Mims, guys. Okay, Mims. All right, let's get Marvin Mims.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That looks like it.
Yeah. Okay. That's an easy one then, guys. You guys are smart, man. I love it. Yeah, Zach, you're right. Rice is good as well too. I really do like Rice as well. So okay, let's go. Okay. All right. So who are we at now?
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Moving fast here.
Okay. So let me think. We got a wide receiver. We got edge. Oh, that cornerback right there, Travis Hodges.
Hodges.
That guy is sick.
I definitely.
But Garrett Williams is really good too. I'm a big fan of Garrett Williams. I've seen a lot of stuff on him. He looks great. Yeah. Right. Let's go down a little further. I don't know much about Jair Brown. I don't know much about him, and I don't know much about the Stanford guys. Man, they kind of that school's kind of bothers me a little bit. I mean, they're just a little bit too smart for their own good. They walk around elitists. Oh no. Yeah, that guy Luke Schoenemeyer. If we hadn't already gotten, Luke Schoenemeyer. Heard really good things about him. Tight end from Michigan.
He's ranked pretty low on this draft. So, and we still got one more pick after this. So he might.
Yeah, and since we have Dalton Kincaid, we don't need that right now.
Yeah, we don't need
McBride. He was in my draft class. Okay, here we go. Garrett Williamson, Tomlinson. So why don't we just switch it down to those two? Because I think those two are probably the ones that I would take. Yeah. Garrett Williams or Tomlinson, guys.
I vote Tomlinson for sure.
Tomlinson, okay.
Yep. I'd say, I did hear that last time that we had a Tomlinson on our team, it was actually pretty good. So
LT.
Was he? He was just a little good, right? I mean, I don't know. So.
All right, guys. So let's see if we get one more vote. Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a little short. Sure.
But I mean, what's his name? Asante Samuel's pretty short too, though. So.
Yes, he was. Yes, he is. But he plays big.
Yeah.
It'll be only one Tomlinson. Oh, then we got Hodges. Oh man, we are messing it up here. Here we go. We got Hodges now.
Yeah.
Garrett Williams, Tomlinson. Okay, here we go. So we got Williams.
Yeah.
Williams looks like, oh man, we are like almost dead even here.
Yeah.
We're almost dead even. Short. Okay, cool. See who else we got. So we got Garrett Williams, and then Hodges. See, cornerback, man, the safety though kind of makes sense for me as well. Jatavius Martin as well. Just because, again, I don't know that we're going to really get JJ3. I don't think that's. I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Next vote is going to be the deciding factor. Okay, because I think we're exactly even.
Yeah, I think you're right.
3 for Williams and 3 for Tomlinson.
Well, I mean, I think you and I both were going for Tomlinson too, right? So that's
true. Hey, well, then, we're picking Tomlinson. Okay.
Yes.
Love the name. Let's go for it. Okay.
Yep.
We got one more pick, guys.
Yep.
Okay.
All
right. Let's see what we got.
Oh, we're already back up.
Oh yeah. That's because this is when we got off the trade. Okay. No, this is great. Okay. So now we got a safety. Oh, and then bolted all throughout the Williams there. Wow, a little too late, buddy. A little too late. Okay. Now, this is kind of where I think it would be interesting to see some more. Let's see. What do we got now? We got an edge.
A bunch of wide receivers or running backs. Sorry.
Yep. And so that's the question, though. But again, I'm still thinking we're going to have Ekeler back. So, exactly correct, Larry.
Martin again, still right there.
So let's go. Let's look at some defensive linemen or offensive tackles. Let's see. Maybe go up there and click one of those buttons right there. DL. Yeah, hit that. Okay. Byron Young. I think I know him from Alabama. Mike Morris. Okay. I would probably pick the guy from Alabama. Oh, okay. Jair Brown.
That's a DL.
Spears would be a steal.
Yeah, Byron Young would probably be good if we went DL. So we're gonna go
hit all again real quick. Hit all again real fast. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Running back though, man, it might not be a bad thing. Okay, who do you guys think?
Keep the tradition alive. Like we've been picking up running backs every year for the past 3 years though. So
exactly. Why don't we pick up Tajay Spears and then we'll
Larry's definitely suggesting the defensive tackle or nose tackle. So wait, we didn't look at. Oh, we did look at D line.
Yeah, we did. The problem is I don't know those guys. Like I'm trying to think of who they are.
Zach just threw out Spears. Take the safety from Bolted. Midnight is saying just running back, whoever's available.
Spears. Let's just take Spears. How about that? We'll take Tajay Spears. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
At 105.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what we're going to go with?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Oh, Bolt is now saying Martin. Did we miss did we already miss Martin?
It could be, yeah. Yeah, well, let's just take Spears and then we'll wrap up.
Oh no, Martin's a safety. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
One problem is we already got another safety, right? No, I know. Actually, you know what? We need a safety.
No, we did not pick up a safety.
That's right. We didn't. Yeah. So let's. Man, I don't know, guys.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I know you were saying it would have been good the last pick, but he's still available.
You know what? That would not be a bad idea because we don't know that we're going to get JJ. My vote would be to go with Martin. Or who's the other one up there? Isn't there another safety up there? No, he's it. He's
top of the list right now. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Next vote gets the pick.
A lot of people are saying these running backs though. So I mean, I'm down with the running backs still too. But then again, I mean, this is only 4 rounds, so we would have had more. Yeah.
Okay. So we're seeing Spears. So let's go with Spears.
Yeah, Zach is definitely saying Spears for sure.
Let's go with Spears then. Okay.
Okay.
So let's do Kyle. You should do a screenshot of that and maybe do like a and post it on YouTube and also our live, draft or whatever, our live mock draft. Yeah, let's post that on YouTube's and also Instagram. And guys, we're on all the social media. So we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on YouTube right now, but literally all the above. We're on every social media outlet you can completely find. So please check us out. We post different content at every different location as well too. So Bijan Robinson, guys, we'll see. You know what? And Zach, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a look at his tape because again, last season in the draft, there was a guy drafted in the 7th round that won a Super Bowl his first season in the NFL, right? And that happened with the Chiefs. There's value in running backs deep in the class, right? So it's one of those things where, there's a lot of value there, and you can get people very late in the draft. So I'm going to take a look at Spears as well, and we'll talk more about that moving forward. So, guys, I hope this was fun for you. Leave comments. Let me know if it was fun. We can maybe work on this a little bit more too, but we are going to be doing a live draft episode as well too, that we're going to go. We'd like to try and get some more people together. But Kyle, you want to give us some last thoughts and then we can wrap up this video?
Yeah, give me just a second here. I'm just kind of saving that thing. Like my computer was just wigging out for a second there. So
you gotta love that.
Yeah, I was like, oh man. Yeah, so I mean, obviously what we just saw is that we feel like this draft has a lot of depth choices, and the bottom line is too is that 21st draft pick is really not a great place to be in the draft. We're not going to get an elite player in 21. But we will get probably a starter at 21, but we do have some positional value there that we can actually, really do good trade downs with. That, all three of us bros actually have talked a little bit outside of the shows that we really do believe that trading down is probably the answer for us. And I feel like it's probably not going to happen because I don't think Tom Telesco does too much when it comes to his first round picks. No. He doesn't keep it too fancy. He'll probably just pick whatever the best available player is, like whoever's maybe like if there's a number 1 or number 2 for the position, that's probably what he's going to go for, And as long as it's something that we can actually use, that'd be great. But I'm looking forward to it. But but like Andy was saying, is that like we actually have a plan formulating that we actually want to get a draft video going. I think we're talking about maybe the 16th. We want to have like a whole bunch of guests as much as possible on that one. And, we'll do like a whole big old thing. So we're trying to push that one together. And I'm going to try and start reaching out to some people now to see if we can get some.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. To
get Falcon Mine. You have UCF Jag, the Wild Wild West podcast, all the above. I think it would be really fun to do like an actual live draft with each other.
Right.
So, and, I'll give you my final thoughts. Look, at the end of the day, I think we have a lot of depth needs, and this team needs to get younger faster. And so I think more picks is better than quality picks, it's going to sound stupid to say in the NFL specifically. But my point is our team's getting older, guys, and we're getting more expensive. And it's going to get even more expensive with Justin Herbert. So I'm just thinking through the eyes of Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco. They've got to make some tough decisions and get some depth behind these guys so they can learn from these veterans and step up when injuries do happen. And guys, we've been snake bit by injuries, right? And last draft class was 100% depth. This draft class is going to be 100% depth. I think next draft class is going to be 100% depth, but probably more starters because we're going to most likely lose people like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and some of these other folks to dollar crunch problems. So it'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out. But the good news is we're here for you guys. We're going to be walking through this with you guys together. And again, we're here for you. Please comment on questions. If you have some thoughts, in fact, I would even say this, guys. In fact, I'll probably even post this in on the video after this is done. Put your draft in the chat, right? And we can all comment on it. Okay. Show us your mock drafts. And then I would like to comment on each one of these ones and say, this looks great, yada, yada. We'll go from there. I'm really starting to just now start really looking at a lot of these players in a little more detail. I'm going to take a look at Spears. Promise you I will. And we'll go from there. So, as always, we're the Bolt Bros. We're here for you.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Bolt Bros. Let's go.